I'll probably put this back on again. If I just say hello to Kim, because Kim would love to be here, but she's in Sydney. Hello, Kim.
Hello, Kim.
They're a friendly bunch, I've been doing psychic work and psychic development probably for about 10 or 11 years. It's really hard to classify, and if any of you watched the YouTube that Cameron did, I think that was probably the easiest way for me to explain it, so I'm not going to go there again. I know as a reader, how many readers have we got here? How many people have we got here that do readings? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, Carol? No. No? Okay, so we've got a few readers here. It is really difficult for a reader to get a reading. Don't you find? Because if they know that you're already psychic or whatever, then there's like a bit of a thing that comes in. It's like, I always like, because when I go for a reading, I want somebody to read for me that knows absolutely nothing about me. Nothing at all. Because that is the easiest way to read. So those of you here that I don't know at all, apart from knowing your name, you're much easier to read than the people that I know, because I have no agenda. I have nothing attached to it. My daughter, a few weeks ago, said, please do a reading for me, because we went to Byron Bay to get a reading, and she had the reading from, it wasn't very good. So we came home and she said, do me a reading, I really want a reading. And so it's almost as though that meditation that we just did, you have to pop out of your body. You have to pop out of everything that you know about that person and everything that you relate to, and actually be etheric and do the reading from that space, because otherwise you're going to come in with agendas. And I managed to do a half-hour reading for her. That was as long as I could go, and I said I can't do any more because I can tell that my mind is starting to come in, because I know what I want for her and I know what, you know, what triggers her and all that sort of thing. But we managed to do 30 minutes of absolutely pure energy work, okay? But in any reading, the first 3 minutes are the best part of the reading, because that's when the reader tunes in and bang, picks something up about you straight away. So tonight, you won't get longer than 3 minutes, because you don't need it.
So we're all having a best reading.
I don't know if it's all one, but I just feel that the readers here probably would love to have a reading. Yep. Okay, and we all do it differently, I know. And she's hanging on the edge of the seat, so you're going to be first. Okay, I'm going to say one prayer, and that will cover all of you. Is that all right? Otherwise, we'll be here all night. Divine Spirit, I ask for the gift of healing and clairvoyance for every person that comes into contact with me this night. I ask that only the highest come forward, and I give thanks for your protection with love and light. Give them a very quick shuffle and pick 3. And Karuna, don't look back. Don't look back. It's not soothing you to keep looking back. Okay? It's like you keep digging up the dead and buried, and it would really like to be laid to rest. Don't look at you. Do you do this as a job? You're working, yeah, because you've got an opportunity coming up for you. I can see a lady with glasses, and I don't know if any of you have seen Harry Potter. What was the lady that was the fake psychic medium that had the massive glasses? Yeah. That's sort of what I can see. I can see this lady with like big glasses. I mean, that's a bit over the top, but I can see a lady with big glasses offering you work, offering an opportunity for you. And I can see you going, I can't do that. I can't do that. It's like, yes you can. Yes you can. You're being offered a gift. You've received one gift tonight already, but you're being offered a gift. You're actually being offered the opportunity to really step outside your comfort zone and take your work to the next level. So it's really important for you not to look back at what's happened before, where you've been before, what's gone on before, because it won't soothe you. It absolutely won't soothe you. You're about heading forward now. And you do have this tendency to have, you can back me up on this, to have a great idea, and then you procrastinate and talk yourself out of it, and you sort of, you know, and it's like, It's going to be a little scary, but you wouldn't be offered it if you weren't up for it. And it's the Ace of Wands is big opportunity coming up for you. So please take it. And do you have a business card at the moment?
Yes.
You might need to redesign it. Okay? And I feel that it's like the one that you can see there with God holding it. It's coming out of God's hand. It's like, what is your gift to the people that you're working for? Okay, so it's like there's a hand coming out to lift, to support, to heal, whatever it is. Okay. Is there another reader that wants to read? Should we read for you, Mark, and then you can go to bed?
If you like.
Okay. If you have a specific question, I'm happy to just answer a specific question, but bear in mind that what you want to know and what you need to know are very often not the same thing. So very often it is better to just leave the floor open. But if there's something very specific that you're wanting to know, that's cool too. 3 cards, Mark. I can't see. So do you want to tell me, or shall I tell you?
No, you can tell me. I'm still zonked.
Okay. As zonked as you are,
As what?
as zonked as
Oh,
you
right.
are,
Yeah.
you're the master,
Mm.
you're in charge. There's some straight talking that needs to be done. Okay, I've only sort of got to know you this evening, and I know that you're a nice, gentle energy. You tend to go with the flow, and but it's like there's some real straight down the line business that needs to be attended to. The difficulty for you there is that you actually can't see what the outcome can be out of all of that. And so there's like, it feels to you as though, why would I want to put the effort in to be so straight and true and organised in this particular instance when I have no idea what the outcome's going to be? And so the answer for that is that Spirit is saying to you, just trust. You know all about it. You tell people every time you do a reading about trust. And what it's showing me here is that there is, I don't know your circumstances, but what I see is that the gift that you are choosing to share, okay, which you've talked to me this evening about, that gift that you're choosing to share, there is a lot more to that in terms of the new energies that you're going to attract, the new people that you're going to attract. Okay, what I'm feeling is like we sit here and we've got the little YouTube thing happening, but I'm seeing like a television camera, and I'm seeing a particular celebrity that's coming in to be a part of the whole process. All right, and I feel that they're only there, if you like, for your initial stages. It feels to me like you really need to set a date rather than having it loose, because what's going to come up is that you're going to have the person walk in at exactly the right time. I feel it's male, but I feel they're known. They're really known. And they're going to add credibility to what you do, and they're going to open the doors for you so that you're going to be able to share in a bigger way than you ever really imagined. Like you're planting the seeds, you've got the concept happening and everything else, but it's like there's time for some real straight talking. You might find you've got to sign contracts, and you've got to do things that are like, it's not you, you're a nice guy and you just want to you're willing to go with the flow, but it's like, no, I've got to actually get this right, even though I can't see where it's going to take me, because ultimately it's going to mean publicity, it's going to mean your face is going to be on the front page, if you like.
Understand, yeah.
So if you want to sit in the background and just have it all running and not really be the face, tough. Because you will be.
Doesn't worry me, background or foreground or
But
what.
you're going to have to be very, very focused, and it's coming up real, real soon, and it's going to take you down a track that you had no idea was going to happen, which is maybe even going to accelerate things a little bit for you. So very exciting, but a little bit daunting for you, because it does mean that you're going to have to be very straight and very organised with it.
Thank you, Jackie.
Barry.
I can relate to everything that you actually said. I can relate to it everything you said, and actually I do know a couple of celebrities that I was going to get involved in it. So I think you're sort of spot on the mark there.
One's going to promise an awful lot and probably not deliver. The other one's got a really good heart. Maybe the one that hasn't got quite so much to say is the one that's going to be there for the long haul, you know. Oh, this is really for both of you. Sorry, I've got to move down, haven't I? Sorry, I want to hold your hands. Can you hold hands? How long have you been together?
3 years.
Is that all? Oh, how gorgeous. You've got Barry, you've got the soulmate card, okay? And you've got the King of Cups, which is all about the love that you have for this fair damsel sitting next to you. It's so beautiful. But mind, you carry the weight of the whole world on your shoulders. That is so beautiful. It's like my heart's going, oh, it's so gorgeous. I like these hands. The soulmate, to me, the energy of the soulmate is the person that you have chosen to come back into this lifetime to be with, because whatever you did last time, you just didn't finish. You didn't get it right. You either killed each other or left each other or whatever you did, you know. And it's like you come back in this lifetime to reconnect this time to make it work. But you both actually chose quite a troubled pathway to get to each other. You know, it's like the hedge was made of hawthorn. I think it was it Sleeping Beauty, where he had to cut through all the, you know, cut through all the hedge and it cut into pieces and everything. You've both done a bit of that. And it's almost like when you've met, you've sort of gone, finally. You know, there's a lot of peace in your relationship. But you're a troubled soul in that you feel like there is so much that you still have to do. The most important part of your journey is to just love this lady and enjoy that process, because it's the biggest healing for both of you. Wouldn't it be lovely tonight to come back and do all that stuff again? You know? So it's like, I know that you do the game and I know that you do other stuff as well, but what I'm seeing is it's almost as though it's like you're feeling like, it's like Jesus. I have to heal the sins of the world. You feel that you have so much that you have to do. And to me, it feels like if you just let go and enjoy what you're creating right here with this relationship, everything else will just fall into place. It will just flow like a river. And because you have love for each other and you have that beautiful heart energy, what happens is anybody that is open to love has to come. They have to come to be part of it. And it doesn't matter what you offer. You can offer a game, you can offer kinesiology, you can offer whatever you offer. It doesn't matter. You can do like Cameron does and just offer a lunch. And to come in and experience what you're experiencing. And do you know what I'm talking about? Can you show everybody here, like, your love? Can you just give each other a hug? Come on, I'll help you. I'll help you.
I have to say, every time we go out, strangers come up to us and say, you two are...
It's very easy.
Come on, over to the camera. Over to the camera. My friend in Sydney needs to see this. Okay. Now, hang on. 1 minute. Bit of instruction here, okay? The heart hug. Okay, connecting the heart. So your left hand is up here, your right hand is underneath. So no one is dominant. Your left hand's under and your right hand's over. And then you connect hands. Oh, they're going to kiss.
Oh, I can feel it.
What do you reckon, everybody? That's fine. So stop worrying. That's all good.
Now pronounce your soulmate.
Every time we go out, strangers come up to us and they just come up and just say, oh, I just have to tell you, you two look really happy, or you two look like you're really in love. And
We were together for 2 weeks. We went to a wedding of 100 people, and the announcer got up and said, I hope the bride and groom is happy in 20 years' time as these two people over here.
Now, who had picked, as I said what I said, who had picked already their energy? Who,
Yep.
Like some of you know them, but who'd already picked? Because they don't show it.
No.
They don't hold hands, they're not all over each other, you know, not in company anyway.
Oh, not when we're in,
You know?
not in groups and stuff.
No, but who had already felt it?
Yep.
Yeah?
Oh,
Like-
thanks, thank you.
Don't, you know, this is like, these are our gifts. These senses are our gifts. And when you can feel that, what do you want to do? You want to go and be part of it. You want to go sharing it. And then what happens? Then more people want to come. And what happens? It works. Yeah?
Oh, okay.
We'll all have to have a hug before we finish. Now, is there any other readers here?
Oh, yeah, but that was all.
I think I've done you, yeah. You've done that. You've never given someone right.
Yeah, I'm cool.
All right, so I'll pick you because
Don't
I
worry,
don't
in
know
front.
you at all. All right? I've done the hard ones, it's just the easy ones.
Oh, really? Think it's going to be easy?
Okay. Now, mediums work in the astral plane, which is the next level, okay? And when we read it in the astral plane, we read back to front or reversed, okay? It's so interesting because the first card you put out, you put last. And the last card you put out, you put first. And there's no judgment in that because there's always a reason for everything, okay? So that was your first. The second one, fortunately, is unchanged. It's in the middle, okay? So, just the very fact of how you dealt the cards, okay, and that's why it's so great to use cards. I know some people say that we don't need cards anymore, and I read at the other place that I work without cards, but I love them, so I prefer to play with them. But your life at the moment is back to front. You'd agree with that?
It's been there for a long time.
Okay, so
Read back to front.
do you? Okay, so stand up. And just come forward a wee bit and close your eyes and just turn a full 360 slowly so you don't get dizzy. Just turn. So you didn't even know which way to go. Did you see that? She started to turn to the right and then she turned to the left. So there's massive, massive indecision in her life at the moment. Massive indecision. And your body always tells the story. You know, your body always tells the story. But I haven't even looked at the cards. I need to look into your eyes because what I see is you have the most amazing gift. Out of everybody that is sitting here tonight, and probably me included, if you wanted to, you could be the most amazing, open, clairvoyant, psychic, whatever you wanted to be, because you have that gift, fully, totally, 120%. Okay? And when I look at the cards, you've got the High Priestess, okay, which is who you will become. You're not there yet because you don't believe in yourself. When you do, there is nothing that can hold you back. Nothing. And it's talking about strength. And like I said that, you know, Barry and have had like a hard road. They walked on hot coals to get to where they've got to find the happiness that they've got. You're still on the hot coals. We all have it, and we all have it in varying degrees, but that's where you are at the moment. But the thing is, are you up for a challenge? Would you be prepared to leap off the cliff, not knowing if you've got a parachute that works or if there's concrete or water below? Would you be prepared to do that? Because that's right now. And that could be around your job, around your life, around where you live. It's when you choose to have a lifetime where you are going to work with spirit, which you have, you've got to jump off the cliff because they're waiting. And at the moment that feels absolutely right for you, it's like you're going to have to turn your back on so much of your life. Because at the moment, that you sort of go, oh yeah, I'll go there, yeah, that's okay, yeah, I'll go there, yeah, that's fine. But there's something calling you in a different direction. So when you go to turn to the right, Spirit's calling you, and then it's like, no, hang on a minute, because there's all these people over here and I need to go this way first. Okay? So you are going to be faced with, I've got to jump. And if you don't, nothing will change. And if you do, you can become the High Priestess. I would love to do some work with you. I would love to do some work with you. You've got so much potential. But do you know what? When I turned 40, I went and had an aura photo. The first thing I ever did, I went and had an aura photo. And the first thing the guy said to me when he read my aura, he said, "You could not have done what you're about to do until right now, because you would not have had the strength." And you've got the strength card. So the strength is coming in right now, and I've got goosebumps. Oh, that's good. We're on the same page. Okay. Who's next? First hand up.
Did you ever have any thoughts of that, Jill?
Sorry?
Have you ever had those thoughts or inclinations, or just come along with this one?
No, I have had those thoughts and inclinations, and I've had quite a few people
Oh,
tell
it's 4. No, it's 5.
Oh, well, all right. If you're greedy, that's
Sorry,
okay. That's okay. We'll do 5. We can do 5.
I went and had a reading. I've had a really bad experience with readings, and I stopped doing them. But I got given one for a gift at Christmas time, so I reluctantly went and had it. And this lady said to me that I should be sat there doing her reading. That what am I here for? And that I just needed affirmation of this, but that's really
So now you've got confirmation of that.
absolutely.
Yeah. You just do it until you drop one out.
Flying all over the place.
Do you know which order they came? Which were the first two? Those two. So Barry bit off a bit more than he could chew. Oh, you've got the same cards that, sorry, I'm hopeless with names. Jill, you've got the same cards that Jill had. You've got the strength card and the fool card. But this is great that you have. I mean, you shuffled them, didn't you?
I did this week.
Yeah, okay. When you're doing a reading for somebody, okay, people have a belief that in the tarot, okay, they've got that card, so it must mean that. In the tarot, that's not how it works. That card means whatever it means to the person that you're reading for. So the energy of that card is actually what I read for Barry, and it cannot possibly mean the same as it would mean for Jill. Even though if you read the book, of course, it's going to be identical, okay? So the way that I read is always, it's like the interpretation is for the energy of the person, and because you're all tuned into my heart, I can read for any of you because I've got the tuning in there, okay? So the strength card and the fool card together is exactly what Jill got, but for you, it's almost like yours is a symbolic message rather than a physical message. And you live on the mountain, right? The next mountain is going to be the one where the air is going to get so thin that you will struggle to breathe. And you're going to have to trust more than you've ever trusted in your life. And the strength is not going to be physical strength. It's going to be the strength to be able to move through whatever the bump in the road is that comes up for you. It's almost as though you've reached a particular level, or a particular, I hate levels, a particular expansion, and now you're ready to go into the next expansion.
Like a plateau, you know.
Well, it may be a plateaued at the moment, but what I'm seeing is now there's another layer that you're starting to break through, if you like. It's like you with your energy centers, your energy system. I don't know how many chakras you work with, how wide or how open your aura is, but it's like expand beyond whatever those layers are into the next layer. And that's the energy that starts to come in for you. Do you channel information now?
Yeah. I'm working on it. So that's probably what...
Okay, all right, that's great. Get out of the way and allow it to do the work for you. All right? I've got a friend who's writing a book at the moment. Write when you feel like it. When you channel, okay, have a prayer. And just say the prayer and allow whatever happens, just allow it to come. Okay, just allow the process. Because in a sense, you preparing for it is actually blocking it, because it wants to come when it wants to come. And sometimes by the time you've prepared or done what you believe is the preparation, the moment's passed. So it's whatever you're doing, stop. go into the process and just allow it to happen. This is the best thing I ever bought. Because you can be hiking up Mount Warning and you can have this, and if something comes to you at the top of the mountain, you just say it, and then when you come home, it's still there. Do you know what I mean? So start recording everything, and you can record it and then play it back later and write it up later and everything else. I feel like there's a really deep grief still sitting very close to you. Still, and it's as though, in a sense, that grief, which may be a long time ago, but it's still, in a sense, unhealed, is causing you to be on standby at the moment. It's almost as though you're waiting to get the result, to get the healing, to get the completion, to get whatever it is, to be able to let go of that pain that's inside of you at the moment, that emotional pain that's inside of you at the moment. And the message is in here is you've already healed it. There is nothing that you need to go back into, because it's just lovely.
I think that was part of the healing I went through tonight with my mother.
Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. Well, she's waiting. She's on standby. Like, when does it happen? When are we off? She's ready for the journey. It's almost as though you've climbed a mountain and there's another mountain in front of it, and so now you're ready to go into that, and it's a rarefied atmosphere. And so what you're stepping into, and I've gone over 3 minutes, sorry guys, what you're stepping into is allow the process. Don't get in the way of the process, because you're one of the chosen ones, aren't you? Wow. I mean, you chose it, but boy, they chose you too. How much time have we got? What's the time?
Probably 20 past 9, but I think everyone's quite captivated anyway.
Where's the cards? Have I got them?
On the table there.
Yeah. Should we do it quietly in the office so no one can hear? Yes. You don't have to shuffle, you just pick through. Does she go in a room on her own? Oh, she's not at home anymore. Does she go on? Do you like to go on your own?
Sometimes.
You need to be on your own a little bit more in terms of you're back to front as well. Okay, but it's different for you. You don't know what direction you're meant to be heading in. You have an idea, like you have a knowing, but you don't have any idea. So it's like almost like it's round and round in circles a little bit. Are you studying at the moment?
Yeah.
Fantastic, because that's the study card right in the middle. Okay, it's the apprenticeship card. Whenever I go to a group or to a class or anything like that, even though I've been doing this for a little while, it's like I go and I sit there and I go, I know nothing. I'm just a blank canvas, and I want to be filled with whatever the information is. That's what you've got to start doing more of. I'm a blank canvas, because they're telling you stuff you already know. So you might have picked something that wasn't quite the challenge that you thought it might be, because you actually you can be, even though you're saying she's the one doing the hard massage, you can actually be, dig your toes in, a bit stubborn, that sort of thing. This is saying you need to be challenged in what you're learning. You need to be challenged. So you have got to let them know, because you tend to, sit at the back saying, no? Is it right? Yeah? And you need to be challenged, you really do. Now also, 5 suits in a tarot pack. Who reads actual tarot here? 5 suits in a tarot pack, and the 5th suit is the major arcana, which means major mysteries. The major mysteries are the big picture. That's the big stuff that comes up, okay? And what's happening on either side of this study? What are you studying?
Bachelor of Education.
Bachelor of Education. Okay, guess what, darling? I don't think you're ever going to be a teacher at school. Because you've got major arcanas on either side of you, okay? And what it's saying here is what you really need to teach probably hasn't been invented yet. Okay? It's a little bit out of the box. Alright? That doesn't mean that you won't maybe go in for a year or 2 or whatever. But it's like, you need to spend some time on your own, get inside you, and figure out what it is that you really, really want to do. Because you've got the Empress, okay? Basically, you can do anything you want to. You're heading into a stage where once you qualify, right? Oh, I get it, okay. you can't stay here. You've got to go somewhere else. You've got to go somewhere else. I'd like to see you jumping on a plane, heading to another country and battling with a language you've never done before or something like that. I'd like to see you doing like exchange or something like that, like really getting out of your comfort zone, because you actually like getting out of your comfort zone, don't you? You don't like doing it the way everybody else does. You know, you like to be a little different with it. So this is saying you maybe got to do a bit of soul searching. Also, I have to say that because we've got a very powerful group in here tonight, as if you guys didn't know already, but because you've got those majors sitting there, the chances are that what you end up teaching, it may not be in school by the conventional means, and it may not be the curriculum by the conventional means, it'll be outside of that. That is going to come very much from your own life experiences. That eventually, whatever you teach or whatever you gift to children or to young adults is going to be something that has come from your own experience, from your own heart, and something that you can then in turn give to them. And it's not going to be on the curriculum. I doubt they'll get a degree in it, but it's going to be something that you're going to be able to teach because you've got the experience of it. Do you know what I mean? So carry on with the studies. Okay, but you might find that there's something else you maybe need to be studying as well, and if you get a little more into this stuff, you can join the class with Jill and get into this stuff too, because you've got the cards there that are saying, okay, we're talking about the bigger picture here, we're not talking about the nuts and bolts. So secondary school teacher, primary school teacher, it's like, no, because those kids need to learn something else, and so you're going to teach them in a different way. All right, but you will be very successful because she's great. And children, yes, not telling you anymore. Not yet. Huh? You want to know? Sure do. Oh, Spirit wants you to go and do some teaching.
Something to keep in mind, Teresa on Thursday nights has Simon over at her place, so that's always, if you're looking for something else that's very different, it's a good night. Simon, hey, anyway.
I think I'd like to talk to you in private, if that's okay. No, it's not bad, but it's very personal. Very personal. So can we just have a minute afterwards? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
I just don't feel like you maybe want to share that with the group. Do you want to hold on to the cards? Will you do that for me so that I can...
But I'm not going to let anyone else me sell on these cards.
It's all good. Well, unless you want to write them down and put them back in the pack, that's cool. But
Don't worry about it, hold on. Plenty more cards. Might be like that.
it's not bad. It's just it's personal.
It's like that big Brian thing.
Well, we want to hear it.
Yeah.
We want to hear the gossip.
Especially the juicy bits.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll message you all later.
Get it out there.
Come on, Andrea. I've only got 3 minutes and you've just used a minute. Can you take one more? Oh, okay. It's not going to change anytime soon. All right.
What's not going to change?
It doesn't matter. The Justice card. Okay, so you like balance in your life. You really like balance in your life. In fact, I would say that your energy is probably one of the most balanced, you know? Like, if you were to say to my daughter, what am I like at home? She'd go, nothing like when she's out, you know? You're not like that. You're an even, like, what we see is the real you. So you're very authentic. So the Justice card is like the truth, the honesty, the integrity, all of those things. Really, really powerful. Really, really beautiful. Love it. You'll notice I use words over and over again. It's because I haven't been eating my thesaurus lately. Or he hasn't, I'm not sure. You've got lots of swords and swords of lessons.
Yeah.
Around men.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know anything about you apart from that you do spiritual work. This isn't very spiritual, I have to tell you. Okay. Do you want me to do yours in private as well? I think we better do private sessions only from here. What I'm seeing here is that the wounds that you're carrying are from a man in your past that is still not detached fully from your life. Like it's still there. In Cameron's word, the hook's still in. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's that sort of feeling around it. So I know that because you love balance and harmony and everything else, that you're doing everything you can to work with that energy. But there's a decision that you have to make. And it has to be that you choose to let it go. You're too nice for your own good. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You're just too nice for your own good. And like, how long do you want this lesson to last? It's swords. Like, how long do you want it to last? So what I'm seeing here is just make the decision. You don't have to act on it. Just make it. And stand in the power of that. Because everything will come into balance for you when you let go of this one thing that has wounded you so bad that we're still, like, the blood's still dripping down the back of your chair where he's stabbed you in the back. Do you know what I mean?
I think there are a few hooks in there.
Well, there's a lot of hooks in there, but I feel that it's one person in particular, and if it's not your most recent relationship, it'll be your father. And so if you go back and heal with your father, you know, not physically, but, you know, on whatever level you can, if you go back and heal with him, that will create the shift for every relationship. Because you deserve love. I wanted just to see you get the soulmate card, and, you know, like, but married to it, so what can I tell you? But it's like, there's, if you like, we come to learn, right? Your deepest lesson, your biggest lesson is in your face right here, right now. You have the power to bring it into balance, right? You have the power. But also, you're being very independent. And there are some amazing souls around you that would so love to support you and help you through this process. So don't see it as a weakness to need to open your heart and share. Oh, there's some nice. Let's see if we can get a word out of you, okay? How many more? A few, God.
Daryl.
Speed it up. Speed it up.
Jenny, 3, 4. No, you have one then. 4, 5.
It's called the midnight hour.
It's about 20 past 9.
Ah,
So
is it? You tell me when to stop.
it's only 5.
20.
Oh, face down. Hey, look at that, everybody.
Yeah, I noticed
Look at that
that.
first person that's standing face down. Okay, so what are you hiding? Which was the first one? This one. Have you got a child?
2.
A small one, under 12? No? Okay. Okay. Did you lose a child?
Yeah.
That's the one. Okay. Yeah, because it's small. Yeah, okay. So the lost child, the lesson. Have you ever got over that? I mean, I know we don't. But it's like,
I've decided that was the plan. How do you forward?
sometimes they choose, the soul chooses to have the physical experience of being conceived but not coming into the world. And sometimes they choose to be born but they choose not to stay because they realise that whatever it was they came in to do, they're not going to be able to achieve in that lifetime. My take on it anyway, that's what I believe. But I guess, you know, if I was a medium, I'd be, like I do a medium sometimes, but it's not really my thing, but it's like if I was a medium, I'd be saying, well, you know, there would have been too much struggle in that child's life. The life would have been a continual struggle, which would have created continual struggle for you because you always strive to do the absolute best that you can in everything that you turn your hand to. Take no prisoners. I try. Stop trying because you do. You do. You You know, it's like it's walking ahead of you. Look out, she's going to do it right. You are a born teacher, but you don't speak out. You have so much wisdom, and you have a lot of balance in the way that you think about life, and you have a beautiful way of being grateful for what you create in your life. And I just, you're the sort of person that I would see as wanting to be my best friend, and I want to lie with you and talk for hours about the most amazing things that we could think about and everything, but you probably never stop long enough. It's like relax and allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to be loved. You have a lot of wisdom, you have a lot of knowledge. You could be, that you've got the Hierophant card, which is the teacher. It's not like a teacher that stands in the classroom, but it's somebody who shows by their own actions how it is to live an authentic life. You live in truth. When we talk about being real, it's Cameron's new words, authentic. When we talk about being authentic, you're the deal. You're the deal. It's almost like you have to cut your tongue out if you tell a lie. Do you know what I mean? That's the feeling. But you don't see it in yourself. You don't see it in yourself. I feel like I would love you to be my best friend. That's the energy that you give me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't believe yourself.
You suppose? You come to this group and you say that.
Come back next week.
It's my birthday.
Huh?
It's my birthday.
Oh, no,
On the other side of that card is that there's always a teacher there for you.
Yeah.
And if you only suppose and you can't really feel it, then you need to find a teacher that can help you to feel it.
I've
so
always
that
wanted to teach. I've always wanted to teach what I believe is right, but it doesn't seem to fit in the realm of the world.
it does in a place like this.
Yeah, definitely.
Because there's no judgment.
No.
When you're with a group of people that have just connected their hearts. Do you know what I mean? I know I sound judgmental, guys, sometimes, but I promise you it's not. It's like, for you, you have got to start saying what you feel and mixing with people where you feel comfortable to do it. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
you
I
have
can
to
walk in the world that I want to walk in.
Okay,
That's
so
for sure.
so change it.
Yeah.
So change it. Energetically, etherically. It's like interesting because you saw the first thing and passed out for the rest of the. Okay, I don't want to see it. I don't want to go there. I don't, because it's not real for me. So make your life real. I teach Reiki, and the whole concept of Reiki is just for today. Okay? Just for this moment. Just the right here, right now. Sorry, you've got 3.5 minutes. You'll have to pay me more.